Hello, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Allegiant trucks pull up to cater Spirit Airlines A320. Wow, if only it was a JetBlue catering truck, huh? Ay, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back in this crazy world we call flight simulation and aviation. Glad to have you here from the frozen tundra of South Georgia. It's like, well, I think it's above 30 degrees now, but this morning it was 7, or it felt like 7, with an actual temperature of 17 where I was. Pretty darn cold. So everybody made it through the night, though. All the animals survived. Everybody's up and known. We do have some frozen hose bibs I got to take care of when I get home. But other than that, man, we have a full plate to discuss today. We're taking a 320 down from Reno down to Lost Wages of Las Vegas, Nevada. Should be a fun little scenic flight over the mountains. I was going to do something out of Fort Lauderdale, but it just looked, I don't know, I'm kind of tired of flying in Florida in the daytime. It's just kind of lame. So we'll stick out here on the west coast, or western half of the United States. Key 6, good to see you. Callie Simmer, what's up? Wrong side in the house. Let's go. Wrong side. Dude, we need to have a pity party together, man. I'm telling you. McAllen, good to see you. Captain Will, where are you flying to later? Wrong side. You flying today? Captain Will, good to see you. Bomb Tech, RC Flyer, Tim K, Big Sierra, AG, Payne, Golene is here. Catco, glass half full kind of guy. My seniority is safe for now. Sad day. Catco, good to see you, man. I'd be curious to get your vibes, from the Smurf, from Team Smurf. What's the word on the street over there? There's a lot of stuff floating around the airline world. Of course, if you haven't heard already, the merger, the attempted merger between JetBlue and Spirit has been axed, has been blocked by the Department of Justice and Judge Young. First time in American aviation history that it has been judged in this way with a full preliminary injunction or something like that. I don't know. Pretty wild. We're going to dig into all that on our cruise down to Las Vegas. What is it going to mean for Spirit? What's it going to mean for JetBlue? Is this the end of Spirit? I mean, I think it's ironic. I'll just say this one tidbit here before we get fired up, get the airplane fired up. I think it's ironic, though, that the Judge Young's ruling for blocking the merger states that he wants to protect those who fly Spirit. Well, how are you going to protect those who fly Spirit when Spirit goes bankrupt and liquidates? And now you've just put, well, I don't know how many pilots Spirit has, 4,000 plus flight attendants, plus, I mean, you're talking probably close to 9,000 employees. You put them all out on the street? Because that's the better option? I don't know. Very interesting. But we'll talk about that up in cruise. I do have my cafe con leche ready to go. Haven't been in the fly-by-wire in a little bit. Last time we flew it was the day before we were banned from VATSIM. So let's go ahead and hop into this lovely cockpit, get everything good to go here. We're going to start. Let me make sure my sounds are up. I would like it to be the end of Spirit. I want to fly JetBlue VA. Well, Force 59, you got to remember there's a lot of real lives at stake in that statement. So it's kind of crazy. Cafe con leche. It's all politics. It is, Robin. It's all politics. If JetBlue goes bankrupt, it'll be Chapter 11. Yeah, probably. I think the telltale sign that it wasn't going to go through was when the JetBlue CEO stepped down. You know, he didn't want to have 2 failed mergers. So I think that was a telltale sign that it wasn't going to happen. But anyway, here we go. Up to the overhead. Let's get our batteries on. Battery 1, battery 2. A veil light coming online. Wrong side. You're flying MD-88. Ooh. Mad dogging today over there on the wrong side channel. I kind of wish we could go back in time to prevent American from buying up U.S. Air. Tony Johns. Well, that's the thing. So the DOJ even stated that, all the previous mergers were done wrong, in violation of the Clayton Act. So you're telling me that, with all of the previous mergers, now you're going to stand on this one. So just as an example, let's just take one airline, American Airlines. You know what consists of American Airlines? American Airlines is only as big as they are because they have merged or acquired Ozark, TWA, Reno, Eastern, Air California, Mohawk, Pacific Southwest, Piedmont, Trump Shuttle, America West, U.S. Airways, and then the combination U.S. Airways into American. So that's just American Airlines. So you're telling me there was no Clayton Act violation in any of that? When is the DOJ going to go start breaking up those mergers? That's just one airline. The other 3, Delta, United, same deal. Pan Am, Pan Am's a little bit more tricky, Flight Sim Dad. Pan Am kind of leaked into both. So that one's a little bit more, that's just, the ones I just read off are just straight up legit takeover merge. But Pan Am, a little bit different scenario. There's some leakage into there as well. All right, I can tell we're all fired up and ready to talk about airline merger stuff, and I am too, but we got to get this airplane going or else we'll never get out of here. So let me do this first real quick. Good thing it's an Airbus, so I know how to do everything here. We'll be quick. Let's go ahead and call the fuel truck over. We do have, that's not what I wanted. What do I want? I want fuel. Request fueling, please. All right, fuel truck is on its way. Let's finish our overhead flow real quick. That's coming off ground control, CVR test. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3 on the ADIRS off. We're going to go nav position 1, auto, arm U. Fire test 1, fire test 2, APU fire test. All check. We'll leave our fuel tank pumps off until we get our fuel. Everything looks good on the overhead. Let's come down to the FMGC, do an initialization, get everything initialized. Here we go. One state-owned airline, V1. Yeah, maybe I should start my own airline. Some people think the 3 carriers have something to do with the verdict. Do you agree with all that statement? I do, Adam. Think of it this way. The government created 3 massive monopolies. You could say 4, throw Southwest in there, but for the sake of semantics, we're going to leave Southwest out of it. American, Delta, United, 80% of the market. Spirit, JetBlue combined, they're going to have, what, less than 7% market share? So really, what they're doing is they've created a monopoly, and they want to protect the monopoly because they don't want to allow 2 small airlines to become bigger to compete with the big 3 or big 4, depending on how you look at it. So to think that they had no say in it at all, that would be like telling me that there's no corruption in politics. So on that front, I would say that yes, absolutely. Some or one or all of them had a say in what was going to go down. Are you running a new cockpit? I am, Emmett. I am. All right, Phoenix is our alternate. Reno to Las Vegas. That's what we got here. Let's take a look at the weather real quick before we load up a departure procedure. Let's do a weather request. Hopefully, we'll just get all of them right there. Fuel truck is here.
Good morning to you, Captain.
Fuel truck is here, so we'll start the refueling soon.
We really only have 3 choices for cellular, and don't get me started on utilities. 1 choice for electricity at my house. But this was a bridge too far. PFFT. Anyway, here's to another latte.
Latte sponsored by Callie Simmer. Callie Simmer, thank you so much for that $10 bank angle check. Appreciate you. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Yeah, this is where I also like to throw in the phrase political grandstanding. I mean, you're gonna all these other mergers that are going down and all this other stuff that's happening, and now this one is where you put your foot down. Eesh. It's just, I think it's political grandstanding at its finest, if I'm being completely honest. Are all your animals okay? Yes, Mr. Martini, everybody is okay. The rabbits, I put the rabbits in the garage, and we put them in there with a little heater just because their area doesn't get any sun anyway, and it's just complete frozen tundra. But the chickens are good. I put a tarp over part of their coop where the wind was going to be blowing from. Had a hot plate in there, which I know you're not really, like chickens are supposedly pretty resistant to cold temps, but with the wind chill, like at 0, I figured let's at least block the wind. I put a little hot plate in there that I had when they were chicks. But they're all fine. They came out. One actually laid an egg this morning, too. So she laid an egg at 15, 17 degrees outside air temp, which is pretty good because they're not supposed to lay, or at least they slow down their laying in the wintertime. So, yeah, everybody survived. Everybody's good. Do have some frozen external pipes, though, that I shut the main off already for the hoses, so hopefully if they do break, it won't be too much of a mess. I'm going to have to deal with that when I get home. Let's see. Key 6, thank you for the $5 super chat. My man says, don't start an airline. Bob Crandall famously said he would never invest in any airline. Yes. Yeah, I have no intention to start an airline. You know, if anything, though, I've always kind of like tinkered on the thought of like some type of flight school. I think it would be cool to, I don't know, but there's a whole lot of, I don't know. Not an airline, but I think it would be cool to run a flight school. I really do. I really, really do. All right, he's fueling over there. Let's take a look at our weather. Let's go back here, McDo. Now, I forget. Did these get split? I don't believe they are yet, right? No, they're still independent. So let's come over here. They're loading fuel. Let's take a look at the weather. We'll put in our departure and arrival, and then we'll pretty much be ready to start the boarding process. But thanks again, Key6, for the $5 super chat, my man. Good morning to you. It's what, like 7 a.m. over there? Appreciate the support. 050 at 4. So, we'll take off with a quartering tailwind or go northbound. Let's do a departure. Let's see, 3-5 and 17. Of course, that is not aligned yet. I think we got to take 3-5, right? Winds are, what were the winds? Did I print it? I didn't print it. Dang it. .050. So that's 50, 60 degrees versus 17. Actually, let's take 17 right. What the hell? It's not. We have a good performance. It'd be 17 right. Blast off out of here. Our departure is going to be, if I can find it here. Where is thy flight plan? There it is. Zephyr 8 is what we're on. Zephyr 8. And we're going out to the pesky transition. Zephyr 8 pesky transition. Insert that. Take a look here. Everything looks good. We got a disco. That's normal. We'll come back and get that in a second. Arrivals into lost wages. I don't know what they're doing right now, but let's just set up for 26 left ILS. We can change it in the air if need be. 26 left from the Cocktail 3 arrival. Cocktail 3, and I'm going to load the bourbon transition, but you got to be careful with that. And coming off of tequila. All right, learn the bourbon via tequila transition. That may not line up. We might have to look at that. I might have screwed that up. Oh well, we'll figure it out here in a minute. Wrong side says, when you start the flight school and I'll join with dispatch school, I'll turn out some of the worst flights. Wouldn't that be something, wrong side? I'll start a school, you start dispatching. That'd be funny. That would be funny, man. Didn't Frontier have to declare bankruptcy and record? Tyson. So bankruptcy, gosh, I can't wait till we get to cruise. We can talk about all this. Bankruptcy is, you have to look at it. It's not a all size fits all. Now, every major airline in the United States, well, let me say this. Every legacy airline, so Southwest, American, United, Delta, have all filed bankruptcy, if not multiple times, if not just one time, or once, at least not multiple. I know Americans done it multiple times. So Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the most common for restructuring debt. It's just a way that, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how you can operate companies at a loss for years and years and years, but that's just how it is. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy, though, is where the company goes away and you have liquidation of assets. I wouldn't say either one of those are off the table for the current landscape that's going on right now, especially when you talk about the geared turbofan engines, Pratt & Whitney 1100s, the issues with that. So there are a lot of moving parts, and a lot of them point to bad things. Daza T. Arab, thank you for the £5 donation. An evening from the UK. Love your content. Keep up the great work, my friend. Hey, Daza, I appreciate that so much. Thank you for the £5 super chat. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Beautiful morning here in Reno. You can see the sun coming off here. But appreciate you, Daza. Thanks for the support. Captain Medi, thank you for gifting the membership to Fritz340. Very kind of you. Thank you for the support. All right, our box is loaded. We need to start boarding people. So we'll come over here. We'll go to payload. I've already downloaded it from SimBrief. So when we go here, GSX, we'll go ahead and start the boarding process. And I'm probably going to fire up the APU right away. Request boarding. They're going to start doing their thing. Outside air temp here on the ground is 6 degrees. Right now in the cabin, if I look at the condition page, it's 46. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this. I've got our fuel on board. Fuel tank pumps are coming on. Seatbelt sign is on. I'm going to turn that interior light up. And let's go ahead and get the APU fired up just so we can warm the cabin. We'll have our terrain on ND. Actually, we won't have that on. Is that in op still? I forget. Crew is already on board, so we don't need to board them. Flap is open. APU is starting. Take a listen. Just waiting for Fenix V2. Return leg 2. Kyle, I don't know if I'm going to have a return leg. The internet's already giving me an issue. And if it gets any worse, I'll probably just Alt F4. However, if the Learjet Ameriflight livery releases today, I've been seeing Whiskey Throttle posting some screenshots. There's a strong possibility we'll do a Learjet stream later today if that livery releases. But only one leg down to Las Vegas. Wingnut, good to see you, man. GTF whale sound getting damped by the issues they're causing everyone. Sad whales. A lot of sad whales, Wingnut. A lot of sad whales. Train has been available for almost a year with SimBridge on. Oh, I forgot about that, Chaos. I don't think I have SimBridge on. Rip. But I do have Mini FCU on, and Mini FCU is working. All right, APU is on. Let's go ahead and start the chrono for 3 minutes. Our flight plan is in the box. Secondary, we're not going to do progress page. We're going to put KRNO in here. Perf data, we'll go to a init B. I'm going to leave this, well, we can put the fuel on board. 10.4 is what we've got on the fuel. We'll put 10.4 right here. I'll leave the zero fuel weight till we're all done with the boarding process, even though Chaos says we can do it now. I'm just going to wait because I'm scared. So I'm going to wait till it's all boarded up, and then we'll hit the init fuel, and we should be good to go. As far as altitude, we don't have anybody online. I'm going to go ahead and use my Mini FCU. We'll scroll in. What did we file? We filed 390. Really? Okay. Let's do it. 390 is set. I'm going to reset the flight directors. Oh, I have that bound here. Hold on. All right, flight directors are reset, and we'll get the speed here when we get our init done. So everything is done in the box. That's been 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and get the APU bleed on. Nice and toasty. We'll leave the electrics on the APU as well, just so we can share the load and save a little bit of wear and tear on our APU. South America Tour Part 2. Yes, Ameriflight Learjet South America Tour. We're going through Mexico. We're going to go through all the crazy spots. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait for Learjet Tour Part 2. But there'll be off-time streams. Like, we'll still do our normal streams, and then, you know, whenever I feel like firing up the Learjet, we'll do some Lear and chill ops. I heard Wingnut. I saw you picked up the Lear. Essential Reading, Hard Landing by Thomas Petzinger. Yes, Tony Johns. That one, and also Flying the Line, if you're in America, or a unionized work group, I guess. The Ameriflight livery has been out for an hour? It's already been out? Well, how come nobody told me? Interesting. All right. Is this new boarding music? Thoughts on Pilot Edge? This route would have coverage there. Captain Will, yeah. I just didn't want to have to pay for it right now. Well, not even that. It's just, like, on today's stream, I really want to kind of hang out, and we're going to talk more things merger. There's already lots of good tidbits floating through the chat. So it's easier for me to not be on a network so I can interact with y'all. The whole network thing was more so for the viewer when you want to, like, learn ATC stuff. So while I don't think Pilot Edge is a bad network, it does require attention to the radios and stuff like that. So for this particular stream, I didn't want to fire it up for that. Now, with the Learjet, Ameriflight Ops being out, we might have to get ourselves a little Pilot Edge account and take the Lear on Pilot Edge. That would be spicy. Wingnut says, I'm bummed I waited so long. Lear may be the most fun airplane I've had in flight sim. There you go. From Wingnut himself, and that's coming from a real pilot who's not only flown tube liners, but is flown military aircraft. So if he's having fun with it, you'll probably have fun with it. And I'm not sponsored by Fly Somewhere at all, so I'm just sharing the love. I love the Learjet, even in its alpha state. There are definitely some little bugs here and there, but it is 100% usable and worth it, and I can't wait to see where the project goes. Chad Wick, thank you for joining, becoming a private pilot member. Appreciate you. Fubar's in the house. Good afternoon. Good morning to you, Fubar. Need a Falcon 50? Oh, Falcon 50 would be sweet. That's the jet I tried to convince when we were flying Citations. The owner was looking for a new bird. I told you we went on the Phenom demo flight, and then they were looking at some other airplanes. I ended up leaving that employer to go to the regionals, and they settled on a XLS, and then they ended up getting a... They ended up getting a Sovereign? I don't think they ended up getting a Sovereign. They went XLS, then they went to something else, and now they're up to like a Falcon what do we say it? 7, whatever the new Falcon is, but it's only 2 engines, whatever that model is. But yeah, I was trying to convince him, hey, go from a Citation Bravo to a Falcon 50. You know, the up cost in that was insane. Well, V1 people here literally pay, so not wanting to pay for anything like ATC airplane doesn't make much sense to me. What are you talking about, Gary Stewart? DME ARC in the Lear? Yes, that would be sweet. We certainly learned what not to do on a network. Exactly, Fractality. We've been scolded more than enough times. Well, to be fair, I don't think we really got scolded on VATSIM ever, did we? We may have missed a radio call here and there, but I mean, I logged into my account for VATSIM. I never had any, what do y'all call them? Wishies? Wallops. Wallops? I guess you get an email if you like get a nastygram. I never had any of those for almost 5 years. Didn't have any violations, at least none sent to my account. I don't know. Just got the email that said you were banned for band evasion. That's what we concluded after deductive reasoning. Because the name thing doesn't make sense because they even allowed it in their new terms of service, so it had to be for that. V1 is one of the better VATSIM users. Well, Steven, that actually, I feel better about that now, because when y'all were saying, hey, I got banned because I was missing radio calls, I started to think, oh my gosh, did I really? Like, am I that bad? Like, because I thought for, like, maybe I did. We talk in the chat and we get distracted. It's like, gosh, that's all I need is be putting out that example. New cockpit looks nice, Jeff. Yeah, for sure. I love the new cockpit, man. New cockpit is looking fantastic. This airplane, honestly, I think it flies great. The cockpit, now that it's fixed and all straightened out, I think it's amazing. The background lighting. I would wager to say that this cockpit is even more cozy at night. Like the way the night lighting is in this cockpit is just top notch. Absolutely love it. All right, boarding is complete. Zippy, you got walloped in Germany. XP calls it being bat slapped. Me out on guard once, got a scary PM from VATGov. Oh my goodness. All right, this is going to be a fun flight, y'all. It's going to be fun. Boarding's complete. We'll go ahead and disconnect from external power. Oh, who's this fake guy?
Captain, the first officer and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to see the
It is a new piece of boarding music. I like it, Jeremy. It sounds very nice.
We'll be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Did you ever get an overspeed warning in your real-life cockpit? Jim, I have. I think I told the story either on streaming or on podcast. One night we were in the middle of the night. We had a massive wind shift at like 38,000 feet. The whole shebang went off, man. Pretty, it'll wake you up. Adrenaline rush for sure. Nothing there's nothing we could have done about it. We didn't know it was coming. We weren't like riding the barber pole, just a massive wind shift and a momentary overspeed. You got to ride it up. Maintenance does an inspection. That's that. I also had an overspeed in an Embraer when we entered severe turbulence. Because severe turbulence is defined as losing momentary losses of control of the airplane. We definitely had momentary losses of control, and we were initiating a descent, and we lost control. Autopilot kicked off, airplane shot up, we couldn't descend, hit the overspeed, and that particular encounter required a thorough inspection of the airframe as well. That one was pretty wild. People were deplaning, looking like ghosts and thinking, and there was, I don't know, a dozen people throwing up. That was a wild ride. But it has happened. You try to avoid it as best you can. We have procedures in place to minimize overspeeds, but sometimes with the weather, it's unavoidable. But as far as like egregious overspeeds, no. Skyfall, thanks for the $5 super chat. The block and the merger just champered with my conditions. Higher within spirit through Liberty University. Gotta love politics. Yeah, Skyfall, thank you for the support, my man. Hope you stick around for cruise. We're gonna get into this once we get up at cruise. We're gonna take off right now. But yeah, Skyfall, I got a lot to say. I'm sure everyone else has more to say in the chat too. So we'll tackle this at cruise. Thank you for the support and the $5 super chat, my man. All right, let's prepare for pushback and departure. We got another $10 super chat coming in. Chad Willick, your first super chat here on live stream as a new member. Thank you so much, my man. Been lurking, watching your vids for over a year because I work night shift. So this is the first stream I've actually caught. Learned so much from your streams. Keep up the amazing work, V1. I see ya. Chad Willick, or Chadwick, not Willick. Chadwick, thank you for the $10 super chat and becoming a member here at V1 Nation. I appreciate your support. I'm glad you're enjoying the content, and there'll be much more to come, my man. Much more to come. So appreciate you.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
All right. Oh, hold on. Before we go, hang tight there. Let's go back to the init B, IRS init. Nope, nope, nope. Map, map. Speeds. Oh, we got to do, we're going to do, ooh, Reno. I think it spit out a flap 1. I think it spit out a flat 1 out of Reno. Reno, we don't have a secondary, but if you remember when we did the check ride prep stream, we did the single engine, the special complex off 17 right. It is a gnarly one coming out of Reno if you pop an engine. We're just going to pray that doesn't happen because we're not set up, nor are we prepared for it, but we're going to do a flaps 1, no flex, 26, 27, 31 on the speeds, and everything looks good there. So they're locking gear, reset the chrono, and yeah, I think we're pretty much ready to go. We'll go ahead and turn the beacon on. Oh, Ryan, good to see you, man. Welcome. I also finally fixed bypass fin from GSX getting detected, so now PT is properly inhibited. Nice. Nose right, tail left, I believe.
Release parking brakes, please.
Oh, I have my brake off. There we go. Brakes released, clear to push.
Commencing push. All engines clear.
Oh, look at that lovely yellow bird. Might not be around much longer. Yes, I did update Chaos right before the stream. I updated.
Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate the use of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. You can follow along with the safety information card you use in the back pocket.
This is your home airport, Orion Vic? Nice. I don't have a scenery, unfortunately. I think we're just running default Reno. Pain, no it's not. Crisis averted, especially since we have no, we don't have any single engine ops in the secondary, so maybe we should have left it in the purser's position so they could evac for us. Top banana in the west, spiritual wangs. Good bird. 320 Neo. Man. Gonna be sad. Gonna be sad. You can always use the native fly-by-wire chocks and cones with JSX. I left the difficult stuff to Chaos. Alright, brakes are set. Clear to disconnect. Check for those door plugs. Yeah, we don't have any on the on this bird today. Not that I'm aware of. Alright, we're gonna indulge ourselves in the best startup sounds in the biz. So I'm gonna juice up the sounds. And actually, I'm gonna wait for it to disconnect so we don't have to. So we don't have any interruptions at all. Oh, fire truck. Where's Fireflyer at? Landed on 3.5 in Reno as a passenger the other day. That big ass hill on short final looked pretty impressive. Yeah, there's a lot of those hills, Wingnut, around Reno. I don't know if you've done it, if you guys do it in the sim or anything, but like if you do the single engine off the 1.7s, 3.5 isn't as bad. Going northbound's not as bad either, but or actually, yeah, 3.5, yeah, it's 3.5, 3.5 left and right. But 1.7 right, you pop an engine. Whew. It's probably one of our longest engine out procedures we got in North America. Maybe Frontier can swoop in and bid out again? Who knows? Not off the table. All right, there's the pin. If I had a light switch, I'd flash the light switch. Two thugs and a tug, pin and salute. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Roger that. We're going to spin them up. So, engine mode to ignition start. APU bleed is on. I'm going to be quiet. I forget which one's better. I think it's better from right here. And then we'll do the second one from outside. All right, engine mode to ignition start. Starting engine 1. I'm muting my mic. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this. Doesn't get much better than that, chat. Doesn't get much better than that. Sheesh. Boris has got some other sound packs coming out soon this year too, so I cannot wait for that, including hopefully the Turbine Duke is public information. Allegedly, I was told maybe possibly that the Turbine Duke is Boris sounds. PT6 with Boris sounds? Are you kidding me? Yes, please. Sign me up. All right, we're going to do number 2 from the outside view. So how we're going to do this, I have to go to drone cam. And we'll put it in front of the engine. Oh my gosh. I wish I could like default my speed to 2 instead of 30 every time. All right. We'll, so we got to do a little finagling. So now I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit start number 2. Could you imagine if we had Boris Audio Works on that Lear 35? I probably wouldn't fly anything else with as much fun as I'm having with the Learjet. I mean, just awesome. All right, we got 2 good starts. We'll go engine mode to ignition start. We'll arm you. We're doing a flap uno. David, glad you're liking the content, man. Welcome on board. Where'd you get the nose wheel tiller? That's Cat 3 design, Robin. Easy on the caps, my man. Easy on the caps, my man. I don't want to have to do any band hammering today. You're one of the lucky ones that gets a warning, a second warning. All right, flaps 1. Let's go ahead and go APU bleed auf. APU master switch auf. I'll tell you what, let's do our checks now. Let's go ahead and go flight controls, full up, full down, on neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder. Ooh, I don't have my tactical flip-flops. That's as far as I can go. I'm rolling. Full-ish right, neutral. I don't have the tactical flip-flops because it's way too cold and I still have the wheels on my chair, so that's as far as we go. That looks good there. We'll go auto brakes maximum, takeoff config checked. Get you out of the way. We'll go auto, 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 and auto, and that's in TARA. We are on IVEO.
Please prepare for takeoff.
Hey. We are on IVEO, so we should make a call here real quick. It's ready to go. Takeoff config, did I not? There we go. We'll get the cabin check here in a minute if it doesn't go off already. All right, we're taxiing to 17 right. Gosh, I love the the fly pad is still my favorite. I think this is my favorite one. I'm just gonna say it. I definitely think this is my favorite EFB that we have in the flight sim right now. It's snappy, it's intuitive. For me, anyway. Everyone can have personal opinion. My personal opinion, this is the most intuitive, snappy one we got. We're going to go out via Alpha to 17 right. Reno traffic, what are we? Reno traffic, Spirit 357, taxi at 17 right off Alpha, Reno. All right. Taxi lights coming on. Brakes released. Here we go. Brake check, pressure 0. Oh, watch the compression of that nose strut. Ooh, ever seen 158 woodpeckers? All right, here we go. No tactical flip-flops are the threats today. Yeah, no tactical flip-flops and crosswinds. All right, 390 is set, which seems a bit aggressive. We'll double check that once we get out here. Alpha's the inner, so we're gonna go here. I love that sound of that shake. Like, I don't know, we hit a bump or something. That's so real. All right. It's calf wool sock season. Super cool to have Witness V1 manage to get the sim plus stream to in real life FPS. Yeah, Dub. You know, with the wizardry that Fragtality has been putting out for Flight Sim, with his mods, well, that and Frame Gen. Yeah, my FPS is just through the roof, man. I mean, it's really saved this my sim for a while here. Did you just have more frame drops, Jeremy? We've had a few. We got 0.9% frame drop, so it dropped 1,300 frames. It seems to be pretty stable, but every now and then there's a frame drop hiccup. But it seems it's less than 1% of total. So I think we're gonna keep pressing on for right now. Why is it choppy for y'all? Sometimes, if you ever see like a flicker on the screen, that's probably because I'm switching between screens with Frame Gen. That's all that is. But should be a relatively smooth stream for you. At least that's what my stuff is saying. Tyson, you're back from the meetings? Hey, Tyson, we might have to hit up Mexico City tonight in the Lear. Apparently the Learjet livery that I've been waiting for is released. So, still banned from VATSIM? You betcha. You betcha. Alright, here we are, 17 right, even though it says 16 right on the sign, 17 right on the pavement. That's definitely a threat. You'd have to verify that. Let's go ahead and do this. We'll get all of our lights on. Do I have a floodlight on here? No, I just have this on max. Alright. Reno traffic, Spear Wings 357 departing 17 right, Reno. Alright. Clear left. Flying the good old US Airways then? No, nice sack smacker. No light chop on this internet. Good deal. Good deal, Wingnut. The Nugget Hotel and Casino? Yeah, on the left-hand side. Alright. One, 7 right confirmed. Are y'all ready to do this? Oh, we only have 100 likes. That's pretty unacceptable for a fly-by-wire takeoff. I guess we'll do it from inside view. I was going to spoil y'all with an exterior Toga, but since the participation is so low, we'll do an interior Toga. Toga's in chat. Spool them up 50. Nose forward on the stick. Yoga. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. It's still going. Absolutely love it. Okay, let's get on centerline. Man, Toga, SRS, runway, auto thrust is bleh. 80 knots, thrust set. Ooh, tailwind, 100 knots, check. V1. Rotate, nice and easy here, right on the tail. Positive rate, gear up. Navin. Oh, it rotates so nice. Fly with it. Oh, wow. All right. Keep that going until we hit our acceleration. Oh, that was just so juicy. All right, lever climb. Let's go ahead and lower the nose a little bit. Get that positive trend. Nice positive trend arrow. We got our winds are shifted around now, quartering headwind. Whew, thrust reduction from window view is awesome. With thrust climb, auto thrust. Oh my, what a beautiful departure out of here. Absolutely beautiful. Good orthos here too. Really good orthos. Alright, here's SB, so I'm going to go ahead and lower that nose. Alright, now let's go flap 0. It's a pretty straight out departure. I don't even really need to just turn the autopilot on here. It's weird going off 1.7 and just flying straight because I haven't been to Reno in the real airplane in a really long time, so all my recent Reno experience has been in the simulator, which has all been single engine. So to actually just fly straight out and enjoy the view here, it feels weird, but it's great. Man. A little bit of a turn. There's 10 thou. Let's go ahead and get these off. Bank angle check to the left. Might be a little bit off course. That's all right. We'll fix it in a minute. Yeah, Mr. Martini, you got to give it a go, man. It's juice coming out of here. Not quite as good as Fenix orthos, but still pretty darn good. Definitely get some chop. You see the wing flex in there a little bit. Is there a speed limit on that one? No, not above 9,600. We're well above that. Let's see. It is +7. We're in and out of some clouds just to be safe. We'll get our engine heaters on. Wing flex. Zippy in the wing flex modder, man. Now the wing flex looking good on this one. Off course there. We got distracted looking out the windows. Really need mini EFIS so I can do this part with the mini FCU next to me. That would be the ultimate. Well, that's pretty straightforward departure. We'll go autopilot 1 on the FCU. AP1 is engaged. We'll go back to this cam. We'll turn you off. All right, we're out of 10K. Let's come down here. We would copy the secondary if we could. I'm going to give us a direct to, well, really it's Pesky and then Tequila. So let's just go direct Tequila. We're navving. Lights are off. That's been copied. We should put Delta Ops is already preloaded on COM 2. Excellent. I'll just enjoy the views now. Just enjoy the views. Turn it down just a tad so we can hear ourselves think. Did you see Green Dot is going through flight training? Yeah, Jeremy, I was aware of that actually. Pretty neat stuff. I saw his latest post where he said that he's going to be, going through some the intense part of his training. Maybe he's getting ready to go through some check rides or stage checks, whatever it may be. But yeah, I think that's so cool. I really look forward to his future videos as he gains experience in the industry that he's been covering for I don't know how long, quite some time now. Direct Tequila, I knew you had a part of V1. Oh, Steven, I'm still recovering from last night, man. What are the fractality mods? Just do a quick Google search, Martin B. Sometimes he's floating around in the chat. But honestly, Martin B., one of the biggest helps for me was the frame generation mod. So if you have an RTX card that has enough VRAM and you can run frame gen, there's STDs for you, me, and Fractality. If you have a card that can run frame gen with enough VRAM, I'd highly recommend going down that path first. And then, whether you can or you can't, you can still check out one of his mods. There's a couple other mods out there, possibly, allegedly. Fly Iveo, Mexico, Leptin. We might do it tonight, my man. I'm going to see how this stream goes. We'll see how the internet holds up. Right now, it's doing pretty good, actually. And then with the Ameriflight Learjet livery, we might have to do some. We might have to kick off a flight down to Mexico. I don't know. Random dings in the cabin are just part of the sound ambiance. I love it. Absolutely love it. 4000 series as well. Well, Fubar, I believe so, but I think you should have native frame gen on the 40 series, right? So you wouldn't need a mod for, depending on what 40 series card you are. That's where you start to get more too technical for me. You have to query someone with a little bit more knowledge. So for me, I've got the RTX 3090, which does not have native frame generation, so I had to use the mod for Microsoft Flight Sim. Oh, that is the view right there. Some snow-capped mountains. We just flew into Boise yesterday, right? In the Lear. Ooh, yeah. Real turb? Nah, I don't know what real. This. Look at this. This is perfect. We get a little wing flex coming out here. I'm not getting another mod to run something that you can't even see. You can't. I mean, it doesn't. What does it matter? What does flying through turbulence do for you? You're going to slow down to 7.6 Mach. You're going to pull out your POH when you fly into some turbulence. Like, okay, what's our turbulence penetration speed? We're 138,000 pounds. We're at 34,000 feet. We're going to slow to 7.7 or 7.6. What are you going to do? No, you're not going to. You're probably going to fly 8.1 barber pole right through the middle of it. So why get mods to do stuff that's not going to affect how you fly the airplane? That's just how I look at it. You have a 4070 Ti. Yeah, so you don't want AMD frame gen with that, as Chaos said, and the NVIDIA frame gen is superior. So if you already have native frame gen with your 40 series cards, you should be solid. When you say enough VRAM, what is enough VRAM? Well, I have heard just from people in the chat, in the Discord, folks doing the frame gen mod with an 8GB VRAM and that causing issues. Now, you might be able to stack the frame gen up with an LOD adjustment, because your VRAM is what's going to be limiting you in that case, most likely. So I've heard of people having stutters and issues, like Team Vodka had an issue with that. So you just have to be kind of careful. Can confirm I only fly the barber pole. Anything greater than 8 GB, says Gary Stewart. Yeah, so if you have more than 8 gigs, I would definitely give it a shot, because for me it has been one of the most game-changing things to happen to my simulator since Microsoft Flight Sim has been available. I mean, when you say 100%, like, I mean, doubling frames is, for specific systems, it is legit. You know, I went from flying in traditionally mid-20 FPSs to 50s and 60s. We did some flights out over the water where we were up into the 80s. Like, just wild. Numbers that I never thought possible we would hit. The stream we actually got banned on, well, we got banned because I thanked the Aruba controller, and that submitted my name to the system, and they flagged it, I guess. But the A300 out of Kennedy, when we did that flight leaving, I know it looked choppy, I think, for the live viewers because the internet was tanking on that stream. But my frames in INI builds JFK were like 40 with all the traffic, and we had probably 30 heavies, 30 different airplanes in the vicinity on BatSim, and I was still in the high 40s on frames, which is unheard of. Coolest drink to a cafe con leche at Starbucks. You know, at my Starbucks drinks have gone down dramatically because I prefer anything other than Starbucks now, just because I've broken from the norm of always getting Starbucks, and then I realized that the Starbucks coffee doesn't actually taste that good, and they I don't know, they're too heavy on syrups and sugars. So at Starbucks, if it's my only option now, I either get the peppermint mocha, which at Starbucks is not near as good as another third-party coffee shop, or just a straight-up cappuccino. I get just a straight-up cappuccino at Starbucks, and then I might put just a little bit of sugar in there. That's it. But if you can go to any other coffee shop, I would encourage it, because I was like a lot of y'all. Starbucks, I had the app, had the points, I was doing it. It's in almost every single airport. So, you know, I was heavy on the Starbucks, and then I broke away from it really when I got this HQ. This HQ is located across the street, walking distance from a place, a local craft coffee shop, and I had their pumpkin spice latte. I think this is what sold it. I had like the original pumpkin spice latte, and it tasted nothing like the one at Starbucks. And so then I was hooked. I was like, okay, what else you got? And then I started drinking the cafe con leches, and then sometimes I just get a straight up hot cup of coffee, black, done deal. Or I also really like just straight up cappuccino with nothing in it. So just the foam on the top, no sugar, nothing. Solid. Skyfall says, and even though I've been around for forever. Hey, 13 months, Skyfall. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support. We're almost up to the top here. Let's see where we're doing. We're 30.6 to 39. Are we really going to do 390 optimum recommended? Okay, fly-by-wire. If you say so, up to 39 we go. We are getting bumped around a little bit, so we'll just keep the seatbelt sign on. Always support local. Yes, I agree, Tech Talk. I love coffee, so I don't go to Starbucks. Tango Delta says, mid-career engineer looking at pivoting to the awesome career as an airline pilot. Whew. Any advice you'd care to share regarding the best training path from 0 to hero in US Part 61, Part 141? As far as 61 or 141 Tango Delta, that is not going to matter as much as how fast you can just get your number. With the way the landscape is in the US aviation market right now, if you can absorb what people refer to as puppy mills, or just like pilot factories. Pilot mills, not puppies. I don't know where I got puppies from. Like an ATP, there's a couple other programs. But ATP is the most common one that comes to mind, where they have accelerator programs, 0 to hero. It's a special kind of learning. It's a lot of information, like a fire hose. It may not be the best quality, but it'll get you a seniority number the fastest. And in the current environment of U.S. aviation, the faster you can get a seniority number, the better. So don't put too much weight in Part 61 versus Part 141. I started out 141. I finished Part 61. I essentially set up a 142. No, it was a 141 school for a foreign carrier. So I've seen it. It makes zero difference to the airlines how you get your flight training. All they care about is, do you have hours? How many fails do you have on your check rides? And when can you start? So right now, the faster, the better, but it's not for everybody. So maybe find a balance between a school like ATP and maybe a local flight school that has a 141 program, but it's not as accelerated as ATP. Then you might be able to digest the information a little bit better. That would be a good medium. But if it's just a Part 61, it's not going to change anything. For me, so I started 141, then I went to Part 61, but the flight school that I was at also had a Part 141 program, but all I did was, hey, I want to take the 141 syllabus and all the timing and how it's structured, and I just want to do that syllabus as a Part 61 trainee, and that's what I did, and it worked out pretty good. But yeah, like Patrick Howell said, the airlines don't care. Payne Golden, Part 61 and Part 141 are just different structured training programs in the U.S. Part 61, you could say, is a little bit more flexibility in how you do things. So, for instance, if you show up at your flight school to do a night flight, but the weather is not going to be good at night, you can say, that's all right, we'll skip the night flight training, let's go up and work on landings. You can do that as Part 61. Part 141, you're on a specific track and you have to accomplish certain lessons by a certain time, and it's just more structured. So you have less flexibility. You still have some flexibility, but it is not as flexible as a Part 61. 61 actually teaches you how to fly. No comment. Did you work through flight school? Swarm. So I did work through flight school, and then I got hired. I took out a loan to finish my training, and then I finished my training, and immediately was hired into as an instructor at that flight school, and then that's how I initially started to get paid. And it couldn't come fast enough, because if I failed, it got down so tight that if I failed my CFI check ride, I wasn't going to have any more money to do anything else, and I had already left my job that I was working at, because I was like, I just want to finish my flying stuff. So if I failed my CFI ride, I was going to be dead in the water until I got a new job to pay for another one. So, but it's good. Some people, I almost tend to do better under external pressures, I think. Everybody's different. Some people do excel when there's no stressors or no pressures. Some people excel under the pressures. So I think in a roundabout way, it was almost a good thing for me that's how it wound up. My flight school is Part 141, certified and has 141 instructors and syllabus, but it's also a 61 flight school for students not enrolled in college. There you go. Yeah, see. Key 6, he's done both 141 and 61, and I found for me, it didn't really matter. Yep. Everybody's different. How many check ride failures before they aren't interested? Caleb, right now, I don't know. I mean, as long as you can explain and you can demonstrate to the interviewer that you have learned from a failure and what you learned from that, I think you're going to be fine. In this current market, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Now, if you fail every single check ride, that's going to raise some red flags, but I know people who have failed every single check ride and have got to an airline and have bent metal, but there's other reasons why they got there. But just don't fail everyone and you'll be fine. Be able to explain what you learned from your failure and have a good understanding of why you failed. Like Cortez burning the ships, no choice now. Keko says, all day thoughts of jumping ship have been creeping in my head, must keep them out. Keko, dude, will you send me a DM on Discord, man? I wanna ask you some stuff off stream if you can. But I hear you, man. So back to our mergers chat. Yeah, it's there's a lot that is going to be going down in the industry really soon. All right, we're 390. We're leveled off in cruise. Power's coming back. It's actually a much shorter flight than I thought it was going to be. But Cacao, I agree with you, man. It's thoughts of all kinds of thoughts have been going through my head lately.
Flightdeck Captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As we begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be.
The plus part of 61, in my opinion, is you have to get more hours for each license advantage. That is, you get more hours in Part 141. Also correct, Skyfall. Yeah, you'll end up with more time. Now, right now, restricted ATP, that's still a thing, right? So you could still get hired at like what, 1,200 hours? Did you see Alaska Airlines offered the blow-up passengers $1,500? Bombtech, I did. That's pretty crazy. I'm gonna need a little bit more than $1,500. Uh-oh.
Disappointed with the judge decision. We like the idea of offering Spirit flights.
V Blue, thank you for the $5 bank angle check. Yes, I will tell you this as well. I am disappointed with the judge's decision to block the merger between JetBlue and Spirit. I think that was going to be something great. And this is my personal belief of why it's blocked, and it's because you have JetBlue. While JetBlue has a fantastic, they really do have a good passenger product when they're on time. I know they've had some issues as of late with some reliability things. But JetBlue as a passenger has a really good product. There's no denying that. Spirit, definitely a completely different passenger experience, right? Depending on where it's heavily influenced on where you're flying to and from. And it's get somebody in the air to where they want to go for as cheap as possible, right? So it's a completely different experience. But both airlines financially not doing that hot. Spirit plagued by Pratt & Whitney issues. JetBlue having some additional financial issues and also having Pratt & Whitney's not nearly as much as how bad Spirit's affected. The two combined companies coming together, you're going to double. You'd have about, I'd say, almost 8,000 pilots. I don't know how many pilots are on both seniority lists, but you'd have a very large, still low-cost carrier in JetBlue. JetBlue classifies themselves as a low-cost carrier. You would have a large airline in the low-cost market that will provide good, if not great, passenger service if JetBlue were to maintain what they're doing now, because they do provide good passenger service or passenger experiences, right? So you would allow this option to kind of flood that middle ground of ULCC and a legacy operator like Delta or United or American. But what's that going to do to those three in Southwest, the big four, if you allow that to happen? They are going to drive the prices down for those big four airlines to try to stay profitable on those routes, and they don't want to see that competition. So that's my personal take. I think it's to protect the big four at the sacrifice of two smalls. And the big four only got big because the government allowed them to get big. There's never been a block of a merger like this. Now, the DOJ attempted to block U.S. Airways America West days before America West or U.S. Air was in bankruptcy, but there was room for an appeal, and it was appealed. There was actually a settlement with the DOJ. So on every other merger in U.S. history, if there was a potential blocking or a potential suit coming, there was always a settlement. This is the first time in American aviation history that I'm aware of, and I've been reading all night and looking at past mergers, that it's been blocked with the case of a full-blown preliminary injunction, which basically says the DOJ won't settle. So you can't even come back and say, hey, we'll divest more routes, more slots, we'll do this and that. The DOJ has already said that they don't want to settle. So I don't know if an appeal is going to happen. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going to go happen from there. Now, you still have two very financially crippled companies. You got JetBlue, who's got financial issues. This is going to cost them a pretty penny. It's going to cost them less than if it were to go through, however. Spirit, on the other hand, also financially in a crippled spot, only exacerbated by the fact that the Pratt & Whitney issues are causing them to park airplanes. So you are potentially, by blocking the merger to help the customer, you are potentially eliminating the company from even existing, therefore hurting the customer and the employees. But what are you doing? You're protecting the Big Four. No competition. So it's just talking out one side of your mouth, talking out the other side of your mouth. It's just politics. All it is politics. So for me, I personally believe that that the ruling was bought, paid for by possibly other airlines' influence to just protect the Big Four. That's all it is protect the Big Four. Because no matter what happens now, whether Spirit goes out of business, JetBlue files Chapter 11, the Big Four they're only going to benefit from that. They'll get airplanes at pennies on the dollar. They'll get routes. They'll get slots and airports and gates. So it does nothing but actually benefit the Big Four airlines for this merger to be blocked. Grade A pocket greasing. So, I mean, because that's how I see it. I really don't understand how... Oop, we got a nice ortho line there. I don't understand how any other explanation makes sense. I mean, the judge himself said, for those who love Spirit, this one's for you. Because the Clayton Act says if a merger potentially harms a single person, you can't go through it. And the DOJ has brought up the Clayton Act before, U.S. Airways America West, but have elected to settle. And they've also said, the DOJ has also said, that the past mergers of the Big Four should not have been accomplished. Okay, so you messed up, you still created the Big Four, you created the monopoly, and now you have two little guys trying to come together to compete with the monopoly that you created, and you refuse to let them because you want to do a grandstanding, here enters the political grandstanding, saying that you are pro-antitrust, which this current administration is apparently pro-antitrust, but there's been numerous mergers already this year of other entities, so I don't know. It's just politics, man. At the end of the day, I think this has nothing to do with the Clayton Act. It has nothing to do with protecting consumers. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has nothing to do with logic. At the end of the day, this entire blocking of the JetBlue Spirit merger is just politics. That's all it is. Politics and protect the monopolies. And if you don't think the Big Four have a say of what goes on, Delta Airlines, specifically Delta, 1% of the U.S. GDP goes through Delta's American Express cards, or their American Express program partnership, whatever, however you want to say it. So, to think that just one airline with that much financial prowess doesn't have anything to say, like, come on. Maybe Southwest will buy some 320s. And now JetBlue owes Spirit $470 million. Well, Wingnut, that is true. The $470 million, to my knowledge, has already mostly been paid out to shareholders. I believe if the companies agree to walk away from the merger, which is a possibility, JetBlue will owe a remaining approximately $70 million to Spirit. So approximately $70 million left to go to Spirit. The other 400 plus million minus 70. that other, whatever that other amount is, has already mostly been paid out to shareholders in various ways. So I think the remaining $70 million would be going to Spirit, and that's it. But they have to mutually agree to not go through the merger. The way that the takeover from JetBlue to Spirit was written was that on an unfavorable ruling, they would do everything in their power to appeal the process. But there's a caveat in there that says unless mutually deciding to part ways or to break up, then JetBlue will pay the breakup fee. So if they mutually agree to part ways, the breakup fee is only about $70 million remaining now. TOD reached. I have no idea what we're going to go down to. Let's just put in 15000, hit manage descent, and let it rip. So Trevor, thanks for the $6 super chat, man. I had no idea you had livestock. What breeds of chickens you have? Our Kokins and Polish hens are my favorite. Can't wait for the South America tour. Trevor, appreciate you, man. Yeah, I'm livestock. I use that term very lightly, Trevor. Appreciate the $6 super chat. I'm kind of like a fake farmer. We got some acreage and we were going to get a goat and all that stuff. I'm still in the fake farmer facade right now. But yeah, I do have chickens. We have 14 chickens. Oh no, I'm sorry. We have 12 chickens now. We lost 2 in the raising process. We have barred rocks. We have all I know is barred rocks, man. But we have a lot of different breeds. My wife went in off the deep end with the whole chicken thing. All I know is they're very pretty birds. They all look different. They're all pretty. But I know we have 2 barred rocks, and they're our most consistent egg layers right now. Let's see. $70 million, exactly. $70 million. What were y'all saying about flood the market with pilots? Let me read back in chat. But Trevor, appreciate the $6 super chat, man. You think an appeal is coming? Okay. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So about the appeal process, hear me out on this one. I personally do not think the appeal process is going to happen, and here's why. Let's wind back history. Former CEO JetBlue, Robin Hayes, attempted to buy Virgin America. Whether that was a true attempt to buy or really just to drive the price up for Alaska to buy them and have to pay extra does not really apply regardless. The fact of the matter is that looks like a failed merger on his resume, right? Okay, fast forward, Spirit JetBlue merger. If Spirit and Frontier were to come together, that would have been a real bad thing for JetBlue. So, out of desperation, in my opinion, again, this is an opinion piece, JetBlue announces a superior offer to essentially take over Spirit. Because if Frontier and Spirit came together, they were going to have 7 to 8% market share, ULCC, pretty much dominating that space. JetBlue has a very niche space in the U.S. as far as flying. I mean, they're pretty much New York, Florida, and California. That's pretty much, they do other stuff, but that's the gist of what they do. So,
here's to helping keep the wife happy with the chickens.
Hey, Water, thank you for the $5 bank angle check, my man. Appreciate you. With that happening, they couldn't let that happen. So JetBlue then announces the takeover of Spirit, right? Yada yada. It's going to go through. It's a deal you can't refuse. Get it. Okay. Well, now the DOJ is actually going to court. Unheard of. Okay, we're going to go to court. We'll battle this out. Go through the court. It's delayed, and all of a sudden, Robin Hayes steps down. A couple days ago, last week, right? They state his health reasons. I'm not going to get into that. I don't know the man personally. I have no idea what the viability of that is. But for him to step down prior to the announcement, I find that very strange. Like, okay, did they know ahead of time? I personally think they knew what the ruling was going to be, so he stepped down. The lady that's stepping up, Johanna something, Catco, I don't know if you're still in the chat. I can't remember her last name. From what I've been told from my sources within the industry say that she was never very much pro-merger. She was kind of more along, let's do our own thing. So with Robin Hayes stepping down, merger getting blocked, Johanna stepping in, who was allegedly anti-merger to begin with, I don't see her wanting to appeal the process. But I'm just an airline pilot and I don't know anything. So that's just my opinion of what I have gathered through talking to people within the industry, talking to personal friends at both airlines that have a lot at stake. I know guys that have lost 6 figures of investments because of that merger blocking. So there's a lot going. There's a lot riding on this. And now the future is unknown. It really is unknown, and it looks grim. That is for sure. The future is unknown, and it looks grim. That's really the only facts that we have right now. So for those reasons that I previously stated, I don't think there will be an appeal process. I think they'll agree to part ways. They'll pay the $70 million. They'll file JetBlue will file Chapter 11, and they will restructure their debt, and then Spirit will end up filing perhaps a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, liquidating aircraft, which then JetBlue will purchase for pennies on the dollar. So there you have it. Now, if you want to put on, you all know I love a good tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. Let me throw one. Can't have this discussion without throwing in some tinfoil hat, because I know we got some tinfoil hat fans here. What if that was the plan the whole time? What if the leak of the documents from JetBlue saying that, hey, we're going to raise prices, they submit that gets quote unquote leaked, the DOJ has a field day over that, and then the judge ends up blocking the merger because they don't want to hurt a single person, because JetBlue has stated straight up that they're going to raise prices. Robin Hayes steps down, but he stays on the board. So Robin Hayes stays on the board. So he's not, if he was, in my opinion, if you were really ill, and I, again, no, this is not a knock. I don't know his actual health status. And if he is ill, pray for him. Hopefully he has many good years left. But if you were really ill, why would you step down from CEO but stay on the board? Wouldn't you just walk away from everything and enjoy the rest of your time? So for him to step down and stay on the board, now you're like, okay, they leak a document that says they're going to raise prices. The judge wants to block the merger. Robin Hayes steps down, stays on the board. Johanna comes in. She doesn't want the merger to begin with. Doesn't appeal. Spirit files Chapter 7, liquidates. JetBlue buys airplanes for a fraction of the cost they would have had to buy from the merger. So that's my tinfoil hat version. That version that I just stated, that's factual. All those things did happen in that chronological order, so you could definitely say, whether it's tinfoil or not, it's a very strange string of events. But that's, there's a fine line between conspiracy and then just political corruption, right? I mean, I still am about the I think it's just more political corruption, that's all. And I mean, you could tie that conspiracy version into political corruption as well. It's not really conspiracy if it's all true stuff, right? A conspiracy is like fake stuff. All those things are real. It's very sus, right? Very sussy. We're too low for tinfoil, says Vladimir. Yeah, these are our flight level 450 conversations. If you were part of that Learjet stream when we were flying above 45,000 feet. Kako says the company email was worded very specific. If we decide to appeal, I would agree they do not appeal. Right. Kako, and I agree. I would be just as shocked that the merger was blocked if they appeal. I really do not think an appeal is coming. And Wingnut says the irony being, if Spirit folds, the antitrust argument is moot. Exactly, Wingnut. So who are you protecting? Right? Now you're just going to have a feeding frenzy on airplanes. Spirit's gone. The market's wide open. I don't know. It's just all very sussy. Didn't JetBlue fail to deliver on promise to become a low-cost carrier for DCA in New York? Yeah, they failed on a couple different things, Jeremy, but I'm not sure about how that actually went down. That's almost a beam me up tinfoil theory. America, hey, we can't have. We got to reel it in, chat. We're through 18,000 feet here. We're not above 450. We'll do some more conspiracy streams late at night at 45,000 feet, but we got to keep it real here. V1, with the current pilot shortage, have you been flying with OML, restricted Class 1 pilots in the airline industry currently at? Do you think airlines nowadays are hiring more of such pilots? What does OML, restricted Class 1, mean, Aaron Yeager? You talking about like visa pilots? I have not flown with anybody recently on a visa, if that's what you're asking. I know was it Frontier just released something the other day where they're accepting visas from Australia and a couple other countries? I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to. Don't worry, Captain. We sent the airline rep back to get some coffee. Oh, jeez. Maybe the government blocked because they felt like JetBlue would make more empty promises. Perhaps, Jeremy. Perhaps. But I don't think, I don't know. I don't know if they care about empty promises as opposed to what's going to be more beneficial for the Big Four. Because at the end of the day, the Big Four don't really like JetBlue either, especially with the whole NEA breakup thing. I mean, that's kind of sus, too. All right, 2993 is set because JetBlue could go back. Here's something I could see happening. I could see JetBlue walking away, paying the $70 million back to Spirit, and then JetBlue go back and appealing the NEA process that was pulled back from American. So now they're going to get back in bed with American to do more NEA stuff and fire that thing back up. Now we're... You know, that I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Barrel ref check 2993 set. Predictions on the hiring outlook. Caleb, the outlook is still good, but depending on the airline that you're looking at, it is it's slowing down. The older I get, the less conspiracy theory sounds more like corrupt politics, business as usual. Wingnut, I'm right there with you, man. I couldn't have said it better myself, dude. Couldn't have said it better myself. You know what's funny? This is the last conspiracy talk we'll have. The word conspiracy was actually coined from the FBI. Was it the FBI or CIA? I can't remember. One of the three-letter agencies for those who didn't want to agree with the assassination of JFK. Oh, no, Reagan. Was it Reagan? Yeah. So you have a three-letter agency saying that anybody who doesn't believe us is a conspirator. Sus. CIA with JFK. Thank you, Bomb Tech. Thank you. Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't have enough Reynolds wrap for this conversation right now. My cafe con leche is empty. The difference in conspiracy theory and truth is about 90 days now. Operational multi-crew limitation are given to pilots who not fully meet the class 1 minute. Huh. Aaron Yeager, I must say I have not seen that as of late. So I unfortunately have no good advice for you on that one because I have not seen that at all. I'm not familiar with that. All right, we're getting a little bit low here, so we'll go ahead and select 250 knots. And I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to go thrust idle, open descent down to 5. Oop, stuttered there. Must have just loaded in the airport. Down to 5,000 feet, 5,000 blue, thrust idle, open descent, enter destination data. We were up there chatting. Let's do some work. All I want is the latest Vegas. We'll print that off. Oh my goodness. Wingnut dropping a $50 super chat. Man, he must have got a profit sharing check. Wingnut, appreciate the massive $50 bomb, my man. Here's to a bottle of bourbon to conspiracies. Oh, yeah. I appreciate you, Wingnut. Very kind of you. Thank you for the support. Positive rates at chat for Wingnut. Indeed, man. I will, I'm going to need that as well. I'm going to stop by the bottle shop on the way home. Actually, you know what, Wingnut? I might just have to change my plans for tomorrow's real-world flying and do some Lear flying tonight. All right, let's put the weather in here. Perf data says 040. We should make some radio calls because I did see some traffic coming into Vegas. So let me. I know. I'm entering the data right now. 29906. Temperature in Vegas this morning, 10 degrees. Barrow is... I'll tell you what, let's do this. Whoa, stutter. 2 airport, approach. 26 left, Zulu ILS. See how quick and snappy everything is here. Barrow 2269. Barrel ref is 2269. That is set. We'll do a visual approach, but I'll get our LS push buttons on. We're descending to 5,000 feet. We got lost wages on the left-hand side, chat. We didn't even get to take a look at it. There she is in all her glory. Las Vegas traffic Spirit 357. We're out of 6,000 for 5,000 on a left down 126 left Las Vegas. I'm old enough now and see enough that I can wear a certified Reynolds tin very long without drinking. Brennan Aviation, very interesting indeed, my man. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all plays out. Now we know what kind of cruise chat Captain V1 is. Steven, no. This is the first flight since this all has popped off. Being based in Miami would be nice. Back with my Cuban peeps. Heck yeah, man. They ever fix the LS-26 left on the scenery? I don't believe they have, Zach, so we're going to do a visual hand-flown approach. Kelly Simmer says, I will say entering 4-digit barrow in the bus is so much easier than dialing forever in a Boeing. Yes, it is, especially when it's 2, 9, or 8, or whatever it was. Absolutely crazy the other day. All right, let's supposed to be at 210. I'm going to rip this back to 180 knots. We're going to fly the Bourbon transition, and we'll do an open descent to, we'll keep it at 5 right now. Thrust idle, open descent. Speed brake is out. Throttletek cam and FCU cam are online. Let me get flight recorder up and going. Oh yeah, there's traffic there over Humar. Alright, here we go. BFE next minus 10 flaps 1. A little bit tight. Now, are we going to have a disco here? I think we have a disco here. We sure do. Let's clear the disco. Oh, let's clear the manual leg. Oh, well, that sure looks interesting. Let's go direct. Oh, we're already past it, huh? Alright. Let's see what it does. Looks a little sus. Flaps 2. As long as we don't turn right here, we should be fine. We'll actually fly the Bourbon transition. Keko, it's very scary, very difficult to start from scratch. I hear you, man. I hear you. Especially with the amount of hiring that's already happened. So, yeah, hit me up on DM, man. We'll talk. What about the chatty FO? Oh yeah, we didn't even get to talk about my whole San Juan experience the other day. That was a long day. Speed alt star. We're leveling at 5. It's amber because we're below. That's all right. Let's see what happens here if we just let her run. I can't remember the last time I actually let it fly the Bourbon transition. Seems to be doing a good thing right now. Oh, that's awesome shot right there. I wonder why the internet's still being 0.7% drop frame, so you may get a stutter here and there. Internet pissing me off. Another stream tonight? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. I really want to fly something else tonight too. Might do a members only stream. Alright, we're 180. We are flaps 2. Coming into Vegas is pretty spicy. You always look like you're high and fast, especially on 26. Las Vegas traffic Spirit 357, 5,000 feet. We're on a left base for 26 left Vegas traffic. Alright, now let's go ahead and arm it up. I don't want to actually... We're going to wait till we get up here a little bit closer. I don't want it to make a right turn here in loc mode and capture the loc on a right turn. We'll wait for everything to kind of come into play here. We'll also set 4,800. Thrust idle, open descent for Shand is at 4,800 feet. There's the altitude alerter because we're less than 200 feet there.
2,500.
Alright, now we're in the turn. Let's go ahead and hit
2,500.
approach. AP2. Glide slope blue, loc star, Cat 3 dual, autopilot 1+2. Oh yeah, looking good now, Vegas traffic Spirit wings 357 on final, 26 left, about 10 miles. Alright, we're speed out. Glide slope is blue. If we have to punch out and go miss, go around altitude to be 6,000 feet. So we'll dial that in here in just a second. Alright, glide slope star. Go around altitude is set. 6,000 white. The view seems off. Alright, recording is on. Alright, get the cameras over here. Oh, that one's a little off.
$2,500.
180 to Reeling, which is there. We got a 7-knot crosswind up here. That's all right. Manage speed. Gear down. Since I don't have tactical flip-flops, we'll use auto brakes low. Brake low is selected. VFE next, minus 10, flaps 3. Looking good. And we'll go flaps full landing checklist. Gotta love it. Man, that looks so good right there. That looks real. Alright. We're coming back on speed. Autopilot's coming off. I'm going to leave the auto thrust on for this one. We did auto thrust on the Fenix last time, so let's leave it on for this one. Let's see what kind of auto thrust behavior we get. Alright, Cat 1. We're on speed, on slope, looking good. Now, we know this actually, you know what? Scratch that.
1,000.
Let's go flight director off. Flight director's off. Give me the bird. Bird is on. Bird's in chat. Because we know the glide slope will drive us into the ground. So, I can kind of start to see the pappies now. We're going to get high on the slope, but that's because it's Fly Tampa, so... I don't have the fix in, which apparently there's a fix for Navigraph that will use those, says Team Vodka. So I don't have that fix installed, so we're not going to follow the glide slope on this one. We're 3 red right now, so... Fenix seems to be doing a pretty good job, holding about 46% N1. Not really jumping around.
400.
Yeah, there's 2 whites, 2 reds. So now we can lock in that 3-degree path, put the tail of the bird on the horizon line. That's 3 degrees. We'll ride it on down. Nice long dry runway, nothing to worry about. No winds. No pressure.
Minimum 50, 40, 30, 20, retard 10, 5.
Oh, come on. That's so close to being a butter. Oh, now we're not legal because I wanted to get maximum butter. Team Vodka's going to be mad. Spoilers. Ooh. I got that reverse issue again, Chaos. I'm only getting 1 reverse. It only does it in the latest fly-by-wire. Stow the buckets. Manual brakes. I sold out for the butter. Sorry, guys. Sold out for the butter. We're not really floaty because you try to make Alpha 6 anyway here. This is the preferred intersection. Alpha 6 and we'll cross. So, it's not necessarily unrealistic. You definitely plan your touchdowns on your exits. Whipped butter. Vegas traffic, Spirit Wings 357 will clear 26 left crossing 26 right. Vegas. Double check, clear right. Clear right. We don't want to have one of those, remember we were in JFK in the 300? Hey, that was spicy. There's no number for me to call so you can get out of here. I think we might have still been legal. We might have still been legal. We'll have to consult the replay. It was close. Clean it up. We'll leave the lights on. But yeah, so you want this intersection so you can just taxi straight across and then go to the ramp up here. So that was textbook. That was 100% perfectly textbook. Were we 100% legal according to Flight Tampa runway markings? We'll have to find out here. Do tube liners experience ground effects? Yes, they sure do. The 320 with the sharklets, you can feel the ground effect a little bit more than you can in just a classic wingtip fence. It's definitely noticeable. It's small, but it's there. You can feel a difference. The story will change by the time Foqua pops. We definitely had the mains in the touchdown zone. I actually don't know on this one. I have no confidence that we were. Here's my prediction. I predict that the tail of the airplane will be over the last set of touchdown marks, but I'm pretty sure the mains were outside the touchdown zone. I think the mains were outside, but I think it was still within an airplane length of touchdown zone. We'll consult the replay. I think Spiritual Wang is over here, right? It seems V1 likes his touches like vodka likes his woman, buttery smooth and barely legal. Oh my gosh. We already got fact checked by YouTube on our Area 51 stream, so don't even mention those names. Alright, Alpha 11 works for me. Oof, a little hard on the nose there. Oh, the background looks awesome. There's the sphere. Riding that center line. We'll take it all the way to the T. Oh, textbook. Brakes are set. 158 woodpeckers. All right, let's take a look at that. Replay mode. Disconnect from IVAO. How much feedback do you get through the side stick compared to a jet that isn't fly-by-wire? Well, you don't get any feedback through the stick, per se, like traditional feedback, like G-forces. Now, I say that, but I will tell you there is a difference between hand flying at 180 knots and hand flying at 310 knots or more. While there is no legit tactile feedback in the side stick, the controls feel different when you're at high speed versus low speed. So you do feel a little bit. But as far as G-load and all that, no, it's all the same. The stick is pretty much going to give you the same resistance. But I have felt that the stick, it definitely is a little bit firmer at high speed. And when we were iced up really bad going to Detroit one night, I felt very mushy. Now, when I say mushy, not the side stick is mushy, just the inputs that I was putting on the side stick I was not getting the results that I normally got. That's how much ice we had on the airplane. All right, here we go. The Spirit live or not? Replay mode, everything's on, lights are on. Here we go. We're gonna turn off the parking brake. Get your bets in now. Were we legal or not? Where's there it is. Alright, so I'm gonna pause you. Let's just get to the good stuff.
2,500.
I tell you what,
1,000.
we'll watch it from wing view. See if we see any runway stripes in the wing view here. And then we'll bet. My official prediction is mains out, but the tail is still over it was close enough that the tail is still going to be over the paint. That's my guess. I disconnected it. Barely legal, Stratocasts. I would say no, it is close. Legal by a whisker? I don't know. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight, Chad. I saw it coming. I was like, eesh. Do I commit to the butter? Reminds me of the landing I had in Myrtle. As long as the GPS antenna was in the touchdown zone. Oh, hold on, let me click off the screen. Hold on. We're going to go back. Let's watch it again. I'll keep frame gen off. There's the 1,000-footers. Chad, I don't know. Oh, I don't think so. Alright, let's wind it back. Let's wind it back. I don't know. I know the mains definitely are not in the paint. How illegal are we here? I was like, I want the butter. I want Alpha 6 butter. Oh, there's the smoke. Oh, hey, wingnut. The GPS or the, what is that? Ethos? No, who does the internet? Gosh, I'm drawing a blank. They're over the touchdown zone. So, are we legal then, chat? Because the GPS antenna, according to the Wi-Fi communications, we're in the touchdown zone. But we are maybe, if this is supposed to be 150 feet between this stripe and this stripe, we are maybe 20 feet out. SATCOM. What does ROP say? ROP says yes. We're technically, our right main is in the touchdown zone technically. I mean, what a butter though. 10 for 10 on the center line. Alright, let's pause it. Let's go back. Let's see it play out. Let's see if we had an actual nice juicy butter here. Let me on the speed brakes. FOQA approved of this landing. We were clutching at straws, exactly, Thomas. Yeah, I was like, all right, butter. Yeah, butter. Oh, just kissed it. Look, the left one just kissed it. That was definitely a butter, though. Definitely a butter. Let's do one more from like, yeah. Oh, don't want to go into the ground. Hold on. I know it. Don't get a seizure on me. Oh, okay. Hang on. That was terrible. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. No mulligans in aviation. Yeah, I honestly, that one is so close, I don't think that would trigger a FOQA. That one was so close. I mean, maybe FOQA's margin of error is like 10 to 20 feet. We were legit 20 feet or less mains out. But I feel like the real runway is slightly different painted as far as distances, because I'm pretty sure, like I've taken that Alpha 6 a lot. Oh, never restarted the replay. I've taken Alpha 6 high speed there quite a bit and never been in question of being in the touchdown zone. So there could be a slight discrepancy of the real runway markings versus these, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Way better than the last United flight I took to Las Vegas. Pilot landed so hard the luggage bins popped. I will say, though, that the fly-by-wire is a joy to hand fly. I don't care what anybody says. This airplane, with the cockpit, the sounds, it is a joy to hand fly. It really is. Hold it, hold it. Oh, all that work and I was just out. All right, hold on. Oh, no. Did I reset? Oh, my goodness me. That's going to be the view right there. That's going to be... All right, drone follow off. Go back a tad. Resume. Nice slow derotation. Beautiful. All right. Yeah, I wish I could keep frame gen off. I actually should probably shut it off for replays from the setting menu, huh? All right. I don't know. I love the way this airplane flies. I really do. Just smooth and buttery. It feels very Neo-y. It feels like a nice new Neo. All right, I'm going to wrap this stream up, though, with 1 or 2 more replays for all you can enjoy the butter. We can debate the comments. If you watch this video on replay, let me know if FOCA would have been tripped on this one. It is close. Maybe there's a gatekeeper in chat. God, I hope not. All right. In real life, are this going to go around? No. So let's watch it from pilot view here real quick. So let's pretend we're real life right now. We're coming in, and let's say the FO's flying. I'm pilot monitoring.
50, 40,
everything's good.
30,
we're stable.
20.
Set it down.
10.
Set it down. I'm looking at the end of the touchdown zone.
5.
Ooh, no, I don't think so. I think 1 more second of that would have been a go-around call. If this runway is exactly how it is in real life. Because that's so tight, so tight. I mean, you saw it. It's less than 20 feet, which, you know, going at 130 knots, whatever, that happens quick. So, anyway, that was a butter. I'll take it. I'm going to see if I can get a hold of this Ameriflight Learjet livery. If I can, we might have to do some flight level 450 ops. We might have to go up or go down to Mexico, start a little South America kickoff in the Lear. Maybe members only, maybe not. Or I might just go home and take Wingnut's $50 super chat and hit up the bottle shop and go enjoy the rest of the evening. Either way, whatever happens, until the next time I see y'all, thank you for the support. Thank you for the good conversations. I love being able to come in the chat and remove myself from all real-world stresses and stressors and being able to have good conversation with good people. You all are awesome. You've supported the channel. The majority of you supported the channel for a very long time. I can't thank you enough. And for all that support via monetary value, just an extra thank you. I really appreciate the support. Until the next one, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm out of here. See ya.
$2,500.